Hello, good morning, students. I am Dr. S.R. Bhargav, Associate Professor in English. Today we have the new topic, the new book, the new text, the new novel, Lord of the Flies, written by William Golding. This novel is very revolutionary in the sense that it has a very nice theme for the students. The title of the novel of today is Lord of the Flies. As this title is apt or suggestive, we have to explain it. British novelist William Golding wrote the critically acclaimed classic Lord of the Flies and was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1983. William Golding started teaching English and philosophy in Salisbury in 1935. He temporarily left teaching in 1940 to join the Royal Navy. In 1954, he published his first novel, Lord of the Flies. So, students, you have to keep in mind that this was his first novel that was written in 1954. In 1983, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, and on June 1993, he died in Cornwall, England. In this novel, we have a subject matter theme of the novel, which is in allegory. At an allegorical level, the central theme is the conflicting human impulses towards civilization and social organization, living by rules, peacefully and in harmony, and toward the will to power. In this novel, we have a struggle, conflict between human impulses towards civilization and social organization, living by rules peacefully and in harmony. Towards the will to power, themes include the tension between groupthink and individuality, between rational and emotional reactions, between morality and immorality. It means that there is a conflict, clash between two different existing things. How these play out and how different people feel the influences of these form a major subtext of Lord of the Flies. The central themes addressed in an essay by American literary critic Harold Bloom. The name Lord of the Flies is a literal translation of Beelzebub. Beelzebub is known as the Lord of the Flies or the Master of the Flies. The book focuses on a group of British boys stranded on an uninhabited island and their disastrous attempt to govern themselves. The story of the novel moves around an island in which there are no people. It's completely uninhabited. Themes include the tension between groupthink and individuality, as we have already mentioned. It was named in the Modern Library 100 Best Novels, published in 1954. It is known as one of the greatest and best novels. The book begins with the boys arriving on the island after their plane has been shot down during what seems to be a part of nuclear World War III. This novel describes an imaginary destruction of the Third World War as in the future. So the boys are shown as left after the World War from a plane. Some of the marooned characters are ordinary students, while others arrive as musical choir under an established leader. The novel moves around the story of the boys who are not so elder, with the exception of Sam and Eric and their choir boys. Sam and Eric are boys. They appear near to have encountered each other before. The book portrays their descent into savagery, left to themselves on a paradisiacal island, far from modern civilization. The well educated boys regress to a primitive state. There is an paradoxical thing that civilized students, boys, come to in uncivilized world. The book begins with the boys arriving on the island after the plane has been shot down during what seems to be part of nuclear World War III. Some of the maroon characters are ordinary students, as we have so. Golding wrote his book as a counterpart to R.M. Ballantyne's youth novel The Carol Island and included specific references to it, such as the rescuing naval officer's description of the boys' initial attempts at civilized cooperation as a jolly good show like the Coral Island. This novel has been written as a counterpart to another novel. That's name is The Coral Island. Golding's three central characters, Ralph, Piggy, and Jake, have been interpreted as caricatures of Ballantyne's Coral Island protagonists. So there are three important characters in the novel, The Lord of the Flies. The characters are Ralph, Piggy, and Jake. In the midst of the wartime evacuation, a British aeroplane crashes on or near an isolated island in a remote region of the Pacific Ocean. The only survivors are boys in their middle childhood. Two boys, the fair haired Ralph, and to one area, Ralph is optimistic, believing that grown ups will come to rescue them, but Piggy realizes the need to organize, put first things first, and act proper. Because Ralph appears responsible for bringing all the survivors together, he immediately commands some authority over the other boys and is quickly elected their chief. Ralph has a responsible role in the novel. Piggy thinks very trivial or trivialist rather than Ralph. He doesn't receive the votes of the members of Boys Choir led by the red-headed Jack Meridew, although he allows the Choir boys to form a separate clique of hunters. Ralph establishes three primary policies to have fun, to survive, and to constantly maintain a smoke signal that could alert passing ships to their presence on the island and thus rescue them. So they have to select a leader among them and decide either to have fun or to rescue or to enjoy. And they also show smoke throwing from that side so that others people might look them and rescue them. Jack organizes his choir into a hunting party responsible for discovering a food source. Ralph, Jack, and quite dreamy boys named Simon Sue form a loose triumvirate of leaders with Ralph as the ultimately authority. Upon inspection of the island, the three determine that it has a fruit and wild pigs for food. The boys also use Piggy's glasses to create a fire, although he is Ralph's only real confidant. Pig is quickly made into an outcast by his fellow Biggins, older boys, and becomes the butt of the other boys. Jokes, Simon, in addition to supervising the project of constructing shelters, feels an instinctive need to protect the little's younger boys. Now Simon is presented as a polite boy. Piggy is shown as a very funny, joking type boy. The semblance of order quickly deteriorates as the majority of the boys turn idle. They give little aid in building shelters, spend their time having fun, and begin to develop paranoias about the island. The central paranoia refers to a supposed monster they call the beast, which they all slowly begin to believe exists on the island. Ralph insists that no such beast exists, but Jack, who has started a power struggle with Ralph, gains a level of control over the group by boldly promising to kill the creature. At one point, Jack summons all his hunters to hunt down a wild pig, driving away those assigned to maintain the signal fire. A ship travels by the island, but without the boys' smoke signal to alert the ship's crew. The vessel continues without stopping. Ralph angrily confronts Jack about his failure to maintain the signal. In frustration, Jack assaults Piggy, breaking one of the lenses of his glass. The boys subsequently enjoy their first feast, angered by the failure of the boys to attract potential rescuers. Ralph considers relinquishing his position as leader, but is persuaded not to do so by Piggy, who both understands Ralph's importance and fears what will become of him should Jack take total control. In this episode, Ralph is shown as a responsible person, as a controlling person, and Piggy is shown as a very stupid boy who is presented as a source of joke. Jack and his rebel band decide that the real symbol of the power on the island is not the conch but Piggy's glasses. The only means the boys have of starting the fire. They raid Ralph's camp, confiscate the glasses, and return to their abode of Castle Rock. Ralph, now deserted by most of the supporters, journey to Castle Rock to confront Jack and secure the glasses. Taking the counts and accompanied only by Piggy, Sam, and Eric, Ralph finds the tribal and demands that they return the valuable object, confirming their total rejection of Ralph's authority. The tribe capture and bind the twins under the Jack's command. Ralph and Jack engage in a fight which neither wins before Piggy tries once more to address the tribe. In a sense of order of set is permanently eroded by when Roger, now sadistic, deliberately drops a boulder from his vantage point above. Killing Piggy and setting the counts, Ralph manages to escape, but Sam and Eric are tortured by Roger until they again to join Jack's tribe. Now there starts a battle among the boys. Ralph is powerful and Piggy is killed. Another boys take part in the struggle and it becomes very terrible. Ralph secretly confronts Sam and Eric, who warn him that Jack and Roger hate him and that Roger has sharpened a stick at both ends, intimating that the tribe intends to hunt him like a pig and behead him. The following morning, Jack orders his tribe to begin a hunt for Ralph. Jack's savages set fire to the forest while Ralph desperately weighs his options for survival. Following a long chase, most of the island is consumed in flames, with the hunters closely behind him. Ralph trips and falls. He looks up at an uninformed adult, a British naval officer whose poetry party has landed from a passing cruiser to investigate the fire. Ralph bursts into tears over the death of Piggy and the end of innocence. Zack and the other boys, filthy and unkempt, also revert to their true ages and erupt into sobs. The officer expresses disappointment at seeing British boys exhibiting such feral, warlike behavior before turning to stare awkwardly at his own warship. One night, at aerial battle occurs near the island where the boys asleep, during which a fighter pilot ejects from his plane and dies in the descent. His body drifts down to the island in the parachute. Both get tangled in a tree near the top of mountain. Later on, while Jack continues to scheme against Ralph, the twins Sam and Eric, now assigned to the maintenance of the signal fire, see the corpse of the fighter pilot and his parachute in the dark. Mistaking the corpse for the beast, they turn to the cluster of shelters that Ralph and Simon have erected. This unexpected meeting again raises tensions between Jack and Ralph. Shortly thereafter, Jack decides to lead a party to the other side of the island where a mountain of stones, later called Castle Rock, forms a place where he claims the best outside. Only Ralph and a quite suspicious boy Roger, Jack's closest supporter, agree to go. Ralph turns back shortly before the other two boys, but eventually all three see the parachute, whose head rises via the wind. They then free, now believing the beast is real. When they arrive at the shelters, Jack calls an assembly and tries to turn the others against Ralph, asking them to remove Ralph from his position, receiving no support, just storms off alone to form his own tribe. Roger immediately sneaks off to join Jack, and slowly an increasing number of older boys abandon Ralph to join Jack's tribe. Jack's tribe continues to lure recruits from the main group by promising feast of cooked pig. The members begin to paint their faces and enact bizarre rites, including sacrifice to the beast. One night, Ralph and Piggy decide to go to once Jack's feasts. Now, thank you, students. You have understood the sense of the question. The title of the question is Lord of the Flies. How the Lord Beelzebub comes in the form of three characters, and we have Jax, Piggy, Simon, etc., who play their major roles. Thank you.